Charlie LaDuff.
Thank you for the cup.
You are welcome. Brother. I arranged for that to be part of your...
They do exist.
I'm holding off the chain, and your line in here made me burst out laughing. It's not a funny topic at all, by any means.
They never are anymore.
I know. Bing reminds me of a ring of misplaced car keys. You know he's hanging around someplace, but you don't know where exactly. What's your point?
MyFoxDetroit.com. I write that once a week, so you can get it now. You actually read it. This is about law and order in this town. Last Sunday, a 9-month-old was killed by gunfire from an AK-47. Now remember, this perpetrator gets out of his van, lights up a house in an occupied neighborhood, gets back in his van, and drives away. The police come in 25 minutes. You can make the Ohio state line in 25 minutes. This morning, last night, during the Oscars, a mother goes to the liquor store for whatever she's getting, and carjacking victim, somebody lights up the car with an AK-47 and a 6-year-old is hit. Now, my point is, are we going to buy into this bunk like everybody is rotten out there and they can't control themselves? Are we going to buy into the truth that a rare small minority's got this city hijacked? That you can't prevent murder if you have effective law enforcement. Driving around with a submachine gun is no way to have a city. None. So when you ask the mayor at his bus czar presser, can we have an explanation as to what you're doing? And I'm not taking questions on that.
Why not?
Call me. I'd love to know. It's unfathomable to me. Now, I worked L.A., okay? There's a ton of gangs out there. There was a racial beef, a black gang and a brown gang, and the brown gang came by, did a pass by, shot up the house, killed a 12-year-old. Everybody in town was on that till they found the guy. It's, there's 50,000 known gang members in L.A.
Sure, yeah.
And here we got guys driving around, 25-minute jump.
We put your story... This, to be clear again, Off the Chain is your weekly column on myfoxdetroit.com, our station website. But we put a link this morning to the column on our Facebook fan page as a post, and people commented. And somebody said, bring in the military.
I don't know about that. I mean, that's the easy throwaway here, just like the easy throwaway, people can't behave themselves. But I do know that there's a corridor to West Virginia. That's where are these guns coming from? They bring them from West Virginia, and they take the dope and go back down there. Well, maybe bring in the feds. I know the ATFs are working their tails off. Maybe we need some folks. All you presidential candidates are here. Help us. Where's the urban policy? Help us.
Well, they're too busy arguing about the auto bailouts.
And birth control. Like, I got an opinion, too. I'll leave it to myself. But this is not the main thing I want to hear about. I don't know about you.
I'd much rather we solve what we've got going on here rather than talking about macroeconomic things over here. We need to talk about what's going on in the streets.
Yeah, or the children who are alive now, the kind of life we're giving them.
Right.
That's what we should be interested in, at least.
What's coming up next week?
Oh, man.
Don't say it like that. Really? Something big?
I think we're going to have one on tonight or tomorrow about Ficano's fundraising wheel of money. It's interesting. This way we can explain it to you simply. We compare it to Washington and what you can get away with here, but not there.
All right. That's why they call it a tease. We'll have to wait to find out what you uncover.
How much crime is it going to take to get people to wake up? To get people to realize things is going to have to change. I mean, I feel like this. If you are a parent and you looking at your child right now, you got to be thinking one way off of seeing that clip. Either you leave the city, which you were born and raised and hopefully love, or you change things not for you, but the sake of your child. Because the rate things is going, this city is going to be the Wild Wild West. Lawless. Within a matter of less than 5 years, there's going to be no law in the city. It's not even going to be considered a major city anymore. Detroit is going to become a run-down back alley, like in one of those horror movies. I mean, we got to live here, man. We already have problems with the bus routes. The cost of living is outrageous. Taxes is out of control. And we got a mayor, Bean, who don't want to do shit. It's time for us to wake up, make a change, and start doing all this shit now before it get too late. Fuck all these other minor issues y'all talking about and these other minor shit you got on. Worrying about who's pretty, who got on the Swedish Concords when the next Jordans come out. Fuck all that. What's the point of going out and buying Jordans to put on your feet when you can't even wear them bitches? Go ahead and wear them shoes. That might be the last motherfucking day you walk in them hoes. It's time to change, man. It's time to think. And it's time to work together. I'm telling you.
Talk about what happened, because we showed video of a club there. There's a baby, little Delric. So first there was a theory it was gang related.
Right.
And what do we know now?
Well, Chief Godby, when it came out, he thought that it was gang related, probably because of the AK-47 that was used and the bullets and that type of thing. It was 4:30 in the morning. Now, though,
Extremely violent.
Oh, extremely violent. I mean, this is just, ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyway, now we find out from the grandmother, Cynthia Wilkins, who says now that this may have been a fight over a dispute at Club Celebrity. We just showed you the Club Celebrity, which is a club in Detroit, and it was a baby shower. That two people got into a fight at a baby shower because there weren't enough seats for everybody to sit down. That fight then continued out of the club to a gas station, and then the people followed Diamond to her house, and then later on came back and shot up the house. That's the latest that we believe is a possible theory for this
Is there
case.
any way, though, a fight over seating at a baby shower? I mean, obviously there's got to be some other history there, and there's got to be something else going on that would lead to this violent attack.
I spoke to the grandmother today. The grandmother says that her daughter did not know these people, that they just happened to meet up with these people at this baby shower, that if she did know the people, of course she would cooperate with the police, and of course she is cooperating with the police, but the bottom line here is that she just, they don't know who these people are, except that they followed her to her house Monday morning at 4, and then they came back later and shot up the house.
All right.
That's the latest.
Let's hear what the mom has to say.
So this where she was, huh? Club Celebrity. See, this what I don't understand. This fucking...
In front of the door, they shot through the door. So if I would have lifted up, I would have got shot. I didn't know my baby was dead. He died, like, one of the first bullets. He didn't gas up the air. He didn't make no sound. He didn't know he was cold. Because once they started shooting, I grabbed him and I wrapped him up in a blanket. We went in the basement. We called the police. We kept calling for help. And then it was just blood on my shirt. And my little cousin asked me where it come from. And we started looking around, and he was laying on the bed in the basement next to me. And I just touched him. He was already wrapped up in my blanket, but I touched him, and he was cold. I flipped him over, I picked him up. He was cold.
So you mean to tell me this? A baby shower.
The basement, not even realizing that the baby had been shot.
See, if this story is now true, though, she had no idea that somebody would come back to her house hours later and then shoot up the whole house. I mean, this is a tragic, tragic story. There may even be some new evidence now. Listen, the police are absolutely investigating
Well, the police and beyond.
And
I mean, a lot of agencies are getting in on this.
And the private volunteers, the Detroit 300 too, last night, they are in the neighborhoods right now. It's a good group of volunteers who really want to get to the heart of this crime. And somebody out there knows something. If this is a crime, somebody knows something, please come forward.
Yeah, now, this new lead, there's some new evidence that police are talking about.
We don't really know what it is,
Okay.
but there is some new evidence that was apparently just found. Again, the police are a little bit tight-lipped on it right now. Again, they want to go on. The bottom line here, though, is the police are actively looking for the killer or killers in this situation that has now, as you say, has gone international because of the death of a 9-month-old child.
Yeah, it's so tragic.
This is terrible.
Now, I know you had the opportunity to talk to some people about the fear factor that comes with a story like this of everyday life.
Well, we wanted to go out there and find out. I mean, suppose you live next door to a house like that, or across the street, or even in the neighborhood. Would you fear for your life? And I got a chance to talk.
That is a good question. Do you fear the neighborhood you live in? And do you hear gunshots 24 hours in a day? Or if you was to hear gunshots, would you think anything of it living in the city? Especially now that there ain't no cops. And do you yourself carry a gun because of that fact? Those are all good questions.
Be done to stop this violence. Do you feel safe living where you do in the city of Detroit here?
Not really, no.
How often do you hear gunshots?
A couple days, a week.
Doesn't that scare you?
Yeah. But where are you gonna go?
You never know when you're a target, when you can be a target. I mean, it's kind of rough. You wake up every day hoping that you don't learn bad news about your family or somebody that you care about, somebody that you love.
The kids that are doing these crimes, doing all this shooting, all this madness, and I know it's them.
People don't understand what respect means, you feel me? So
Tell me what respect means. Help me understand why there's so much crime in the city.
Our generation,
you know what I'm saying?
Our generation is messed up, so we couldn't help our generation. We was born like this.
Why is that? Why don't people care about
Because
other
they
people?
don't care about their own life. So how can you care about someone else's if you don't care about yours?
People running around here with guns, robbing people, shooting people, stabbing people, breaking into people's houses.
Who wants to live like that? Nobody wants to live like that.
We gotta watch our back at our crib too.
I feel safe. I live on a block in which my neighbors do look out for one another.
Some of the people in the neighborhood that know us, we look out for each other. So there it is, that community involvement.
But it's so much work that we need to still do with the police department. We all need to come on one accord.
So what can be done to stop this violence?
I'm not sure, but I know I'm protect myself. I've applied for my CCW, so
You think that'll protect you?
a form of protection, yes.
You have a gun?
No, I ain't got no gun.
You got a knife? You got a gun with you now?
not on me, but I got one.
I got a gun too, cause I'm.
You think you need a gun to live in this neighborhood?
You live in this Scuds on, you gotta have a gun. Ain't even no if adds a bunch about it. You gotta have one, or it's a good chance of you losing your life.
If you don't got a gun, you might end up in the casket.
Everybody got a handgun? I think that's true. I don't have a handgun, but let me introduce you to my girl, my bitch. She's a little shy, you know. Sometimes she don't come out to play all the time. But that's my girl. What kind of shell she got? Let me show you. It only come out sometimes. Deadly.
Well, the woman who said if they don't care about their own lives, how are they going to care about anybody else? I mean, we talk about what causes this kind of violence. You've got poverty, you've got the breakdown of the family, and what it takes to resolve it. It does take a lot of community involvement and activists like Detroit 300, right?
Yeah, it really does. And you know, what kind of, after being there for a while and talking to the people, it's like some people, like that one woman said, you know what, yeah, I hear bullets and, you know, what are you going to do? It's like they've almost given up. And I talked to 10 other people that didn't make it into the piece there, but they all said virtually the same thing. It's like, what can we do? The poverty is so high, it's very difficult for them to get out of there. They do live in fear, but they've learned to accept it. It is a sad situation, and unfortunately, it's not getting any better.
And when we look at the murder rates and violence this year, it's up already over
more this year than last year by a lot. At the rate we're going, it's better than one a day in the city. Scary.
Tough times. No easy answers to this one, Charlie.
Really.
But I think, you know, Detroit 300, this grassroots sort of effort to take back the streets is a big component.
Oh, they're fantastic too. They're great, hardworking people, and they're really energetic.
Really care.
And they've had some successes too. But please cooperate with them. That's what it takes right now. Cooperate with the police. Cooperate with groups like 300, and let's solve some of these crimes.
Yeah. All right. Good stuff. Thank you, Charlie.